Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Peer Corps recognition program. I'm glad to see you all again. It's Jamie Stanessa back, and I'm joined here this afternoon for this great event by Babatunde Locolaro, who's our Associate Director in Member Education and Peer Corps Service, and he's going to help me present some of the awards and recognitions today. So it's my honor now to turn to Dr. Barbara Gelman-Danley, the President of the Higher Learning Commission, who's going to offer some welcoming remarks.
Welcome to the peer review recognition at our virtual 2021 conference. I sure wish I could be with you, but I feel that I am from a distance. All of you should be recognized for this year. And while special individuals who did enormously special things will be called out, anyone having to do with higher education should be rewarded. In a case like this year's, the peer review teams managed to just keep on marching with some people in one location or dispersed locations and another person on site, and yet you made it work. We've received fantastic feedback from our institutions about the process. You're all heroes and heroines as far as what you've done this year. You pursued on your campuses, you did this extra work for HLC, you are volunteers and servant leaders supreme. I really wish that we could all be together. I'll tell you why. I like to walk around the tables and say hi to all of you and see how you're doing and have you tell me what's new, exciting, or even challenging in your lives. And this is a good time for you through this conference, which I know means a lot to you in your hearts, to network with other individuals. So take advantage of all the communication avenues that are available to you. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, a good recognition, all this time together with the Peer Corps and the rest of the conference. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do, and I wish you all well.
Thank you, Barbara, for getting us started. What a year. What a year this has been. Over the last 13 months, we've seen our worlds transformed, our families, our communities, our campuses, our workplaces in ways that we could not have imagined. If they weren't already offering online courses, our members are doing so now with everything from fully online courses to hybrid offerings to entire programs moving online during the pandemic. Students learning in person are sitting at a distance in lecture halls or in squash courts turned into classrooms. Concerts and sporting events, so crucial to campus life and community, have been suspended or reimagined as virtual events. Through it all, our member institutional leaders and faculty members have summoned an incredible level of creativity and ingenuity to transform their campus facilities and instructional formats to meet the challenges of the moment and the needs of their students. Those challenges will continue for a while, I think, but for now, we say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this work of serving your students in your communities and still somehow, generously, miraculously, really, finding time to volunteer as a peer reviewer for the Higher Learning Commission. I always love this day at our conference. I really do. It's our chance for HLC to express our appreciation to all of you for your service this year more than ever. And over the last couple of years, we've been honoring virtual wizards for their work on assurance reviews and panels. But this year, you are all virtual wizards. As we've adjusted our review work and processes this year, conducting most of our work at a distance while maintaining the integrity of HLC's evaluation processes. You have been astounding in your commitment to this work. I am genuinely stunned by the tremendous effort and good of so many of you, the goodwill of so many of you, and that you demonstrated during this really chaotic and challenging time. Peer review and accreditation emerges from that core value in peer review in higher education. That is our sector's ongoing commitment to self-regulation in educational quality and quality improvement as we seek to evaluate each institution within the context of its mission and against a set of criteria for accreditation. That you have continued to uphold this responsibility in this moment is a remarkable testament to each of you personally and to the strength of this incredible network of peer reviewers. As we start our celebration today, we'd like to recognize the service of everyone here in our virtual space, from the new reviewers getting ready to do their first visit or having just completed their first visit, to those who have reached a milestone year of service with the Higher Learning Commission in 2020 or 2021. Our peer corps is now 1,947 members strong, representing every state in our region, our geographic area, and 68% of our member institutions. In addition to recognizing your milestone years of service today, we'll be presenting several other awards for extraordinary effort in review areas that are key to HLC's success. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Babatunde Olokolaro, who is going to present our next segment.
Thank you so much, Jamie. A quick program note that today's program is included as a handout within the conference site, so you're able to follow the agenda here. We'd like to start by recognizing many members of our peer corps who have passed the service milestone over the past 2 years. As usual, it is with some trepidation that we recognize members for these milestones. Terms of service are sometimes difficult to assess given the start and stop dates of members' assignments with us. So we know we will likely have missed one person or two. If so, please know that we will be recognizing you soon in an upcoming year. I'm moving through these slides quickly, but these honorees are also listed in the conference program. Please note that the 2020 service certificates were issued by email last summer, as we will do for those recognized this year. And once we're back in the office in Chicago, hopefully by fall or so, HLC will mail the 2020 and 2021 service certificates. Please be sure to reach out to your colleagues on the list with an email of congratulations, since we cannot be together this year. During 2020 and 2021, 7 people reached the incredible milestone of 30 years of peer corps service. Marguerite Bennett, Joe Miller, Robbie Tehan in 2020, and Sandy Bowles, Delabert Bradley, Jerry Davis, and Edgar Rash in 2021. These longtime reviewers, team chairs, IAC members, and training facilitators have seen dozens of changes to HLC standards, 6 HLC presidents, and decades of growth and change in higher education. On behalf of the Higher Learning Commission, its member institutions, and the entire peer corps, thank you very much for your long and distinguished service to the business of quality assurance and institutional accreditation.
We'd like to take a moment now to remember 2 longtime reviewers and friends to so many in the HLC family, people who gave generously with their time and expertise for many years. Joining me now are Mary Moore of the University of Indianapolis and Roberta Tian of Fair State University to say a few words in memory of Connie Wilson and Sue Darby.
Connie Wilson passed away on May 21st, 2020, to the sadness of her many friends at the Higher Learning Commission. Connie retired early to pursue her passion as a peer reviewer after enjoying a long career as a nursing faculty member at the University of Indianapolis. Connie had an impact on the Commission's work in the development of policies and procedures. She was proud of developing the Aquip track with its focus on continuous quality improvement. She also worked to transition Aquip to the open and standard pathways, seeing the way forward to more streamlined processes. Connie's chaired most types of teams ranging from change visits to comprehensive visits. She may have had the reputation of being one of the most organized team chairs, as her fellow team members will recall. Connie was always supportive of her team members and kept an eye for how to promote their advancement. She led and attended HLC training with fresh eyes each time, always enthusiastic. She saw participating in peer review processes as the best form of development for faculty and institutions. Connie will be very missed.
The world lost an amazing woman in July of 2020 when Sue Darby lost her valiant fight with cancer. Many in Higher Learning Commission circles know Sue well for her many contributions to the Commission and to higher education more generally. Sue was a longtime peer reviewer and team chair, an assessment mentor, an IAC member, and a regular trainer at annual meetings and other special trainings for both peer reviewers and presidents. Sue was also a dear friend. All who knew her knew of her boundless energy, her positive outlook on life, her intellect, her kindness, and her humor. She deeply cared about the students we all serve. She deeply cared about quality in higher education. In her memory, a scholarship has been established at Hutchinson Community College in Kansas, where Sue served as the chief academic officer for many years. We will all miss her, but her legacy will live on through the difference she made for so many of us and for so many of her students and her colleagues.
And now to the Peer Corps Service Awards. We would like to present several awards for extraordinary reviewer skill and service over the past 2 years in areas that are key to HLC's success as an institutional accreditor. In an internal committee of HLC staff who work with you directly gathered nominations for the following awards listed in your program. We'll briefly describe each award and its nominating process before announcing the honorees, who will receive the usual paperweight or plaque or certificate when we return to the office next fall. Since we missed the conference last year, we'll be announcing the honors for 2020 as well as for 2021 in this presentation.
Our first set of awards are for our many Peer Corps heroes, presented in recognition of exemplary volunteer service in those areas key to HLC's success, including mentoring, leadership, good writing, flexibility, and commitment. First is the Lifesaver Award. This award goes to reviewers who stepped up in a serious way when emergencies arose. Nominated by HLC staff, recipients accept this award on behalf of all who have taken on additional work, chaired a visit at the last minute, or stepped in to complete a team in order to ensure an evaluation runs smoothly. Remy Bruder, Ralph Caterberg, and Steve Abell are the recipients for the 2020 and 2021 Lifesaver Award. Eagle eyes are those reviewers with a keen eye for detail, often catching something that others miss. These reviewers help keep HLC staff on our toes with their focus on quality improvement in our work. Nominated by HLC staff, the Eagle Eyes for 2020 and 2021 are Sherry Barrett, Sister Edith Bogue, and Donald Feek. Being an IAC recorder is tough work since those reviewers must participate in the decision process while recording the conversation. Word Wizards are IAC recorders nominated by HLC's decision-making team and the Vice Presidents for Accreditation Relations, who have excelled in composing high-quality written documents that capture the content of the discussion and communicate clearly in a report with multiple audiences. Please join me in honoring this year's Word Wizard, IAC recorder Michelle Metzinger. HLC has approximately 20 roles for peer reviewers, and we have a set of reviewers who have trained for and continue to volunteer for just about anything and everything we ask of them. The Jacks of all trades serve in multiple roles, including pathways, location and change reviewers, and Institutional Actions Council members. The honorees for 2020 and 2021 are Marius Bobach, Sandy Bowles, and Pamela Stinson. Please join me in a round of applause for their extensive service to HLC in many different roles. In the past, when we have honored someone as a road warrior, the honor has gone to a reviewer who has done multiple location visits over the course of a year, or who has traveled an exceptionally long distance over the duration of a review. This year is a little bit different, since only a few of our reviewers have been on the road at all, and those who were traveled in the moment of socially distanced meetings, facial coverings, and local travel restrictions. Nominated by HLC staff, our road warrior for 2020 is Harry Falk. Our road warriors for 2021 are all of the reviewers who traveled to execute an assignment during the COVID-19 pandemic. We are most grateful for your efforts.
HLC's panels do a great job keeping reviews on track and ensuring that reports are completed on time. Our magnificent managers set a tight schedule for their team so that they're never late, even sometimes returning recommendations on times well before HLC's deadlines. HLC's magnificent managers for 2020 and 2021, panel chairs nominated by HLC's substantive change team are Vahid Latvi and Luis Montes. Many of HLC's reviews do not happen on the ground, but rather from a distance, requiring coordination without the benefit of face-to-face contact with fellow reviewers. As I mentioned earlier, typically our virtual warriors or virtual wizards are those peer reviewers who have excelled in these virtual review situations, including panels and assurance reviews and IEC committees, demonstrating in the process strong leadership as well as proficiency with numerous virtual technologies. In 2020, our virtual wizards were Sue Bite and Pamela Fly. For 2021, we'd like to say thanks to more than 980 reviewers who participated in our virtual activities during the COVID-19 pandemic. Your flexibility, integrity, and goodwill during this rapid transition to a virtual environment has been extraordinary. These next two awards are my favorites because each group honors the other with nominations. Mighty mentors selflessly share their knowledge and wisdom and lend a guiding hand to other reviewers whenever they can. Reviewers know they can come to these team chairs and experienced reviewers with questions, concerns, or encouragement. With so many new reviewers in the Corps, these experienced professionals are essential to HLC's success, and they help us develop the next generation of leaders and team chairs in the Peer Corps. Brian DePoy, Robert Haas, David Moon, Randy Smith, Linda Wellborn, Eric Bolger, Kim Linduska, and Pamela Pinus Schultz are the mighty mentors for 2020 and 2021. Each was nominated by a peer reviewer who served with them, who praised their leadership ability, positive attitude, organizational prowess, process knowledge, and mentoring skills.
Nominated by team chairs, our Rookie of the Year award is an award designated for new reviewers who distinguish themselves during their first or second assignment with HLC. I wish I had time to read here all of the glowing nomination comments submitted by team chairs who nominated the 10 new reviewers earning this award. They were praised for their preparation, diligence, flexibility, curiosity, collegiality, and core reviewer competencies, including superior writing and interviewing skills. Our Rookies of the Year for 2020 and 2021 are Lori Johns, Trevor Malum, Donna Weglars, Benjamin Wolf, Diane Arnzen, Vera Avery Hart-Fullard, Loretta Cochran, Reverend Leonard Favard Jr., Walter McCullum, and Stephanie Morris.
Finally, the honor for the Best Written Team Report, an award nominated by HLC's liaisons, or those vice presidents for accreditation relations. Excellent writing is an essential skill in peer review. Excellent team reports must provide solid evidence that hold together, and a report that holds together with a consistent voice and a convincing but balanced argument and conclusion. That's also accessible to diverse audiences, including institutional representatives, the IEC, HLC's Board of Trustees, the U.S. Department of Education, and then also the general public. Please join me in honoring 4 team chairs whose team reports were nominated as Best Written Reports in the last 2 years. For 2021, Cynthia Kruger and Randy Stiles, and for 2020, Marianne Danielson and Neil Pagano. The Sine Qua Non Awards recognizes essential service to HLC, or from the Latin, without which it cannot be. These awards are presented to reviewers who have contributed significantly to the development of an essential program, a training initiative, a committee, or a process on behalf of HLC. This year's honors go to 6 reviewers whose efforts to HLC substantially changed the way we recruited and trained peer reviewers over the last 5 years.
Carla Connor and Phil Garber worked tirelessly throughout 2019 and 2020 to develop an open and standard pathway retraining program in an online format for AQIP reviewers, and then facilitated several offerings of the online course. Together, they retrained more than 100 reviewers, many of whom have already participated this year in a standard and open pathway evaluation. Together, they successfully improved many of the interactive materials in the course, recorded presentations, moderated discussion boards, and read countless evidence statements in the course portal. Their infectious enthusiasm for the work was inspiring. With sincere thanks for their efforts, we are pleased to honor Carla Connor and Phil Garber with the Sine Qua Non Award for 2021.
Jolynn DeGranis, Pat Dolly, Sherilyn Poole, and Ben Young were among the founding members of HLC's Committee on Diversity. All four people departed the committee this year. All four were inaugural members when we started this work in the fall of 2014, when the overall diversity in the Peer Corps per federal demographic definition stood at about 10%. Thanks to the leadership of these four wonderful people, the Corps is now considerably more diverse with nearly 18.2 non-white membership. Jolynn DeGranis was instrumental in helping us gather and analyze necessary data about current demographics in higher education, and from that, determining our own gaps and goals for recruitment in the Peer Corps. Sherilyn Poole brought considerable experience to her work with us, not only as a senior administrator, but as an experienced peer reviewer and IAC member. Sherilyn also served as the second chair of the Committee on Diversity. Pat Dolly brought a deep background to the committee as a former campus president and as a leader in the world of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Pat also helped me build a wider discussion of diversity into the Peer Corps training by reading drafts and suggesting revisions to our training case and helping me demonstrate how the values of equity and inclusion run through the criteria for accreditation. And finally, Ben Young. Ben started all of this really in a side conversation with me at my very first annual conference in 2014, challenging me to think about diversity in the Peer Corps more systematically and deliberately, and then offering to help me in any way that I needed. Ben's solid presence and belief in this project, along with his gentle pressure to continue moving forward in recruiting and training and retraining peer reviewers through this initiative, has been essential to this process and to my ability to secure financial and strategic support for HLC. With thanks, we honor Jolynn and Sherilyn and Pat and Ben with the Sine Qua Non Award for 2020 as they depart HLC's Committee on Diversity. Thank you so very much. That concludes the award portion of the program, and now we're going to have some AQIP fun. And so I'm going to turn this over now to Linnea Stenson and Stephanie Kramer for the next segment.
And now we're going to bid a fond farewell to AQIP.
We also wanted to show you some memories from past and present HLC staff.
Hi, everyone. Eric Martin here. I had the pleasure of serving as the director of AQIP from 2012 to 2015. You know, when I think about AQIP, I think about continuous quality improvement, of course. I think about strategies and tools and all of the hard work that's involved in CQI. But I also think about the people. I think about all of those who were devoted on campuses to the success of AQIP. I think about the peer reviewers who made AQIP successful. And of course, I think about those who architected that program, who served as facilitators and had all of the forward thinking to ensure it was progressing, improving, and delivering upon its message. I also want to mention that my own HLC colleagues were instrumental in helping me move through this period and make AQIP successful then too. We faced a lot of challenges, and we faced them in exotic places, from Lyle to Oak Brook to St. Charles. And along the way, we had a lot of laughs, and that's what makes AQIP memorable. I am saddened to see it go, but I want to assure you that its rays are still extending throughout HLC. I see those rays in the pathways. I see them in the criteria for accreditation. I see them in HLC's strategic planning work over the last several years. All of these things are helping us improve our processes and our services and helping us plan for a future, in large part because of AQIP's infusion into the work we do. little by little, your friendly neighborhood accreditor is moving from a view that was retrospective to one that is prospective. And that's exciting. It's not without challenges, but it's exactly where the organization needs to be. It's where all organizations need to be in this era in particular. And all of it, I think, has roots in AQIP. So thanks to all of you again for making it such a success and for making it fun. And thanks for enriching my own career. I wouldn't trade those years for a minute. They were terrific. And I've got friendships that will last a lifetime as a result. Enjoy this event. A lot of people have worked very hard in delivering this conference this year. We were so sad when it was canceled last year. Yet we are so optimistic and look so much forward to seeing you all again in person next year, and maybe even at events between now and then. So take good care, and we'll see you again soon.
Hello, everyone. Dean Dubay here. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about and reminisce a bit about AQIP. I'm really sad to see it go. It definitely was an innovative program, thinking about methodologies used in industry, trying to bring those to higher education. I thought that was one of its strong suits. One of my fondest memories, I would have to say, is probably the strategy forum. I really enjoyed going out to the Q Center, meeting with institutions, and just, helping work through some of the challenges that they had. Another really fond memory is all the facilitators I worked with. I can't say enough about those folks, very dedicated to the program, very dedicated to making sure that institutions succeed. And we're just excellent, consummate professionals, and truly miss every one of them. But ultimately, I understand where the Higher Learning Commission was going with the program, and sad to see it go. However, the commission is very strongly committed to its current pathways model, and I feel like the AQIP institutions, with that bedrock, will continue to contribute, immensely to the success of their institutions and to the success of the Higher Learning Commission. Once again, thanks again, and Godspeed to AQIP.
Oh, the memories. There's so many really good memories. Mostly I remember people I met, folks who I just thought were smart and funny and great to hang out with, mostly at the strategy forums at the Ohio AQIP Consortium. That was a great group that I met with regularly. But I think, thinking back, my most amazing favorite memory was a strategy forum, and it was the year that the Cubs won the World Series. That was a really, really great strategy forum. How about you, Stephanie?
Well, I guess mine would also have to be related to strategy forums. Besides being at the bar with Linnea, I think some of my favorite moments were the reception we'd have usually on Thursday night, where everyone would get together and we would look at everyone's table and their action project declarations, and then get to look at all the different swag that people brought. And I'd get to be, I put out the HLC swag, and I always felt kind of like Santa Claus with like a big bag of.
You were Santa Claus.
Yeah, that was always my favorite part of the strategy forum. And of course, talking with everyone. It was always just like a fun night.
Really good people. Yeah. Man, and who can forget those strategy forums? Really the hallmark signature event really for AQIP, and always so much food. We started the morning with breakfast, and then what, Stephanie?
You had second breakfast.
At least second breakfast, and also then there was often a late morning snack or third breakfast. And then of course lunch came.
Complete with dessert. You had to have dessert with lunch.
Always with dessert. The dessert was always delicious. I don't know about you, but I have to say at the Q Center, that soft serve chocolate ice cream, man, I had plenty of that every single time. Here's an early photo. Some facilitators planning for their strategy forum participants. And here we have a facilitator. That guy looks familiar, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, an old AQIP.
A good old AQIP Bruce. Moses here working with an institution at a strategy forum. Wow, the work here. What, and is this, these must have been specially printed, yeah?
Yeah, they were specially printed for the strategy forum for each
That's-
institution.
That is awesome. We must have some of those someplace, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Leftovers?
And all the different colored pens that we needed, markers.
Oh, the markers. Oh, the markers. And here again, I used to just love popping in and out of rooms and watching institutions do the work here and just roll up their sleeves and dig in and get at the categories and really work on whatever that project was that they were setting out. Couple of our early fearless leaders, Eric Martin there in the center, and Carla Pugliano Connor, the high priestess of AQIP, who really, I think, moved us through. I don't think Carla missed a one, did she?
Not as long as I was there.
Nope, she was there. And speaking of facilitators, here's a couple. Bruce again and Kathy, good folks. And again, here's a whole group of folks: Valerie and Bruce, Margaret, Tim, Jana, Kathy, and again the high priestess Carla. And there I am, man. What's going on with my hair there?
It was the last day. Anything goes.
We always celebrated at the end. Boy, here's Jane, the General Salisbury there in the front row on the left, right next to her, Jill Wright, another one of our facilitators. But we always celebrated at the end of every strategy forum. It was always great to take group photos as folks completed. And I think that was maybe one of the other hallmarks of AQIP, is that we celebrated just getting work done and doing good work together. Oh yeah, always a party. Always a party. Again, I think this Q Center maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
That weird light there in the background or whatever it is. Maybe it's some kind of, maybe it's something to eat. I don't know. There was always interesting things to eat. We did love a party. Is this from a strategy forum?
I think so.
I don't know. It looks like I have kind of a Christmas Hawaiian shirt on there. This may be from our holiday party. But hey, we like to party. This was we were celebrating, I'm sure, something good and just a photo of us together. But really, I think, one of the things that I remember and laugh the most about really is the swag. The swag.
I miss the swag already.
Do ya? I kind of miss the swag too. What swag do you miss the most?
I love the chip clips. I love the chapstick. I
Yeah,
have to figure out how to buy chapstick now.
I know. I don't know where it is. I always got my chapstick at a strategy forum. But yeah, I think we do need to wish AQIP a fond farewell. It was a wonderful pathway, and I think for people who need a little help quitting the strategy forum, certainly the strategy forum patch might help you get strategy forums out of your system a little bit. If that doesn't work, maybe some AQUIP gum may also help. Finally here, Aquippers assemble. Stephanie, you have a few words to say for us here?
Sure. As someone, who asked for everyone to do a review for me, I'm just so eternally grateful for everyone that said yes to, doing an action project review, facilitating a strategy forum, working on a systems appraisal and a CQR. We really couldn't have done the phasing out of AQIP without everyone's help, and eternally grateful.
Yeah, I'm gonna add my thanks too. I mean, the certainly, I think it's fair to say that, in terms of peer reviewers, the AQIP reviewers were in many respects the hardest working reviewers in the core. We know that the AQIP pathway had just a lot of moving parts, and folks really were attentive to those and paid good attention. And so I want to offer my thanks to everyone who worked over the years to do the AQIP reviews and to help us continuously improve the pathway. I think that was kind of one of the great things about it. We had so many shifts and changes that we made in the pathway as we went, and they were always as a result of getting feedback from our institutions and our peer reviewers. And certainly AQIP is not really going away. We know that it has really influenced, I like to think of them as the new kids on the block, the open and standard pathways, especially in terms of regular and sustained attention to quality improvement during the accreditation cycle. I think AQIP stood for that, and I think really influenced the pathways. I think it's important to know and remember that as a group, the AQIP peer reviewers exemplified really some of those high performance characteristics that drove us, and certainly focus on needs of stakeholders, but especially students, learning, centered really on effective design and evaluation of programs and processes for all. And I think we can remember, boy, that first category, helping students learn, always was just the bulk of the work in AQIP. Collaboration, peer reviewers coming together and collaborating around a common mission and producing quality reports, agility and foresight, thinking about how they can be flexible and transformational, really, both to their own institutions, but help other institutions see their way forward. And maybe most importantly, that integrity relative to how I think AQIP peer reviewers showed dignity and respect and equity to all their institutions, to their colleagues, and especially in continuously making sure practices and results contributed to the common good, both for the peer core, for their institutions, and for the Higher Learning Commission in general. Thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you so much, Lene and Stephanie, for that great tribute to our AQIP reviewers. And thanks to all of you for joining us today, and more importantly, for your ongoing service to the Higher Learning Commission. I'm honored now to turn to Dr. Henry Smith, former president of Indiana Wesleyan University, a current member of HLC's Board of Trustees, and a longtime peer reviewer with HLC, for some closing remarks. Thanks again.
On behalf of the staff and members of the HLC board, and personally, as a board member and former peer reviewer, I'd like to thank you for joining us this year for the Peer Core Recognition Program. Your presence has given us the opportunity to directly express our appreciation for your profound dedication to quality in higher education, particularly over the past year. Much can change in a year, and much has, with the challenges and complications brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. But during it all, HLC's peer reviewers demonstrated calm and flexibility that never wavered. Many of you conducted virtual visits and at times even traveled to campuses alone to accomplish the important work of thorough peer review. HLC could not have continued without you, and we are extremely honored to include you in our ranks. We hope you've enjoyed this program and that our appreciation has been felt, even in cyberspace. We look forward to the time when we'll be able to visit in person, and thank you.